Hey everybody, Garrett Pearson here, Software Secrets Day 23. I believe that's right, I hope so. Day 23, and welcome everybody to my daily live videos. 23 days, super exciting. I'm doing these until we launch in the spring of 2017, until we launch Software Secrets and Software Funnels. So a lot more live videos to come with tons of tips to help you build your software product. So if you haven't watched all the other 22 videos, go back and watch them. You can do that on the Facebook page and also at blog.softwaresecrets.com. Okay, so today's video, Screw Validation Part 2. Now let me look here on my computer. Screw Validation Part 1 is Day 4. So if you go to blog.softwaresecrets.com and up at the top you'll see in the navigation you're going to see Garrett's live videos or Garrett's videos. Go scroll down to the bottom, you'll see pagination there. Go to page 2 and you'll be able to find Screw Validation Part 1. That's Day 4 video. So what am I talking about? If you're new to this and you don't know what validation is or anything, when you're building a software product, you have to understand that there needs to be a market for what you have, okay? And some companies have got lucky where they just threw it out there and got lucky, but most of the time for us little guys, and to be honest, all the big guys that are big players now in the software industry or SaaS or apps or applications, they were little guys once. Every company had to start somewhere, and no company was an overnight success. If you look at Facebook itself was not even an overnight success. It took a long time to get traction, but people don't understand that. They believe that just overnight these companies went from 0 to 1 billion users, and that's not the case. And so when we talk about validation, you do need to validate and understand that you have a good product that people are going to be interested in, and you're not going to know that right off the bat. And so when I say screw validation, there's a lot of people out there teaching, and if you go back and watch my Screw Validation Part 1, you'll hear me talk about that. There's a lot of people out there teaching how to build software, and they're saying you've got to validate for months and months, and you have to go and find out if there's a market, and you have to go and you have to understand what people want. And I say screw that, and here's the part 2 of that. You don't have to understand the ins and outs. You're not going to learn that until you build the software and you launch it to the public and you get people using it. Okay, if you spend months and months of trying to see if people will want this, you're wasting your time because, and this is just my opinion, you might want to go out and truly validate, but you're going to be wasting a lot of time and energy and resources and money to do that. And the reason being is because you don't know. If we would have waited on Shopper Approved or CartRocket or Rhino Support or any of the software companies that we've built over the past 8 years, if we would have waited, we would have never developed them. We would have got bad information from people because we would have gone to our family and friends, and we would have gone out there and spent some advertising money and tried to validate if people are going to want to use Shopper Approved. Screw that. We already knew people wanted to use Shopper Approved because there were competitors out there. We already knew that we could do it better than those competitors, so we went and we built it. Over the last 6 years, we've been making it better and better, and overnight somehow we made the Inc. 500 this year. But that's obviously not the case. We spent years and years of developing and making it better, but we got people in there early on to pay the bills. Okay, so I say screw validation, build your software, build a minimum viable product. You've heard me say that at least 3 or 4 times now. And for those of you that don't know what that is, a minimum viable product is get the most simple product to market as fast as you can, and that's what we're doing with Software Funnels. Okay, get it to the market as fast as you can, start improving it after that, and now you're validating what people want and making your product better for the market. Okay, But more than likely, if you've got a product that you believe that you would use, or you know that this market will use, then go and build it. Okay? So here's why this is part 2, and why I wanted to bring this up again. I have been reading the book Hatching Twitter. Okay? Awesome book. I'm about halfway through it right now. Hatching Twitter: The True Story of Money, Power, Friendship, and Betrayal. The book is by Nick Bilton. Okay, you can get it anywhere. I'm listening to it on Audible right now. Obviously, you can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those good places. It's a really, really good book. So it's Hatching Twitter by Nick Bilton, Bilton. And it is the story of the inception of Twitter. And I'm not through with it, but it's going through all these things of how Twitter got to where it was, and how the CEOs were overtaken, and all this story is just really interesting for somebody that loves this software and business and is an entrepreneur. You need to read the book. There is a lot of language in the book, so if you don't like the F word, then you probably don't want to read it. There's a lot of language in the book, but super good book. So what does that have to do with validation? So I'm reading this book this last week, and they're telling the story of Twitter and how it became. And they did not validate 1 second. I mean, not only did they not validate, they didn't know how they were going to make money. They didn't know how they were going to get it out there to the world. And you hear the story of these Twitter growing, but in the early days that you don't hear about it. That's why I was saying there's no overnight success, right? During the early days, they didn't think they were going to make it, okay? But going back to the validation side, these founders of Twitter, they did not validate 1 second. They built the software because they thought it would be cool. They wanted to use it. They built it and they put it out there to the world. Now you can say that they got lucky, or that it just happened, they built it at a good time. Well, you could say that about any software or anything that you're going to build too. Who's to say that your software isn't the next Twitter? And more than likely it won't be, right? And even with the software we build, we don't build it to thinking that we're going to be the next Twitter or Facebook. No, we're building it because we're passionate about it. We have that idea, going back to the idea, desire, and execution. We have the desire, and then we execute, and we just get it out there to the world. So I know there's a lot of you watching these videos that you've got an idea, you might even have the desire, but you're not willing to execute. So these Twitter founders, they were willing to execute, and they were willing to just put this out there to the world and see what happened. And it really took off, obviously, but they did not validate 1 second. And that's why I say screw validation. You do not have to validate at the beginning. If you think you've got a good idea and you believe that there's people that need it and that if you would use it, or there's already competitors out there and you can do better than them, then go and build the software. Whatever it takes, go and build the software. And if you sit back 1 second and hesitate, okay, then somebody else is going to build it, or you're not going to do it. So go and do it, okay? And don't worry about all the other things that are part of building a business. At this point, if you are just starting to build your software, you don't need to worry about marketing necessarily, because you don't have a service to market. You don't need to worry about who's going to buy it, although you should know that there are people out there that would be interested, but you don't need to know who those people are yet. Don't worry about all those things that go into running a business, because those things are all secondary to having the software built. You have to build the software first, or none of those other things will ever happen. If you sit down and you're worrying about all the marketing and pricing and all that right early on, you are already in a trap that's going to really hurt you. You have to just start building, because as I said 100 times before to a lot of people, you can't market a product that doesn't exist. Now you can, right? And there's a lot of people out there teaching that, hey, you can go and you can pre-sell this thing that doesn't exist yet, and that might work. And so you can sell things, but a lot of people won't be very happy. We're in an economy, in a market right now that people want it now. And you even, like, you look at these Kickstarter things. If you've ever bought a Kickstarter, I bought a Kickstarter months ago that I still haven't even got yet. And we are in a market where people want things now. And so if you go out there and pre-sell and worry about getting a market to buy your software that doesn't even exist, you're going to have a real uphill battle. So go and build the software, screw validation, build the software, the minimum viable product, and get it to market as fast as you can. That's what we're trying to do with Software Funnels. And if you haven't checked out what Software Funnels is, go back to day 3. I explain what the difference between Software Secrets and Software Funnels and what our Software Funnels product is going to be. And we are following these exact steps, guys. We are going through and we're building Software Funnels as fast as we can. We need to get it to market this spring, hopefully May of 2017. And we need to get it to market, so we are working super hard to get a minimum viable product that's going to just blow people away at how cool this product is. But it's just our minimum viable product, and we're going to make it better over time. But we have to get it to market. And we haven't validated, other than the validation that we know that we would use it. We know that there's a market for it, and so we're going to go for it, and we're going to screw validation, and we're just going to build the crap out of this and get it to market as soon as we can. So hopefully you can see the passion. And I apologize all these last 23 videos, even today, including today, that I've been sick. Like, I got the flu back on day 1 or whatever, and it's stuck with me, but I'm finally on medicine, and so hopefully I'll be sounding a lot better, even more energy and more passion, and we'll do this together, guys. So this is day 23. Thank you. I'm Garrett Pearson, and go back and watch all the other videos. Have a wonderful day.